The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell, where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports, as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubong Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Top of the morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 11th day of December 2024, and today, as always, we'll take a look at commodity reports and activities from our selected exchanges on the segment Opening Bell. Business news stories from around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take out the time to look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria on the Eastern Business Report, and then finally, activities and conversations from around the market will come to you on Afia. And just so you know, the Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China, opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. Well, let me welcome you first and foremost to the opening bell segment. And first, we'll be taking a quick look at some business news stories that are making the rounds. Starting out from the continental economy, where it's reported that Morocco is seeing a record 15.9 million tourists in 2024. It's reported that Morocco's tourism industry is celebrating a major milestone with 15.9 million visitors recorded by the end of November 2024, making a 20% increase compared to the same period in 2023, which is according to their tourism ministry. And then to the global economy, Tesla is to launch a robot-taxi with teleoperator backup. I'm interested to know that George Bank, in a note following a meeting with Tesla head of investor relations Travis Avarad, has stated that Tesla is planning to launch its long-awaited robotaxi service next year, which will begin with a company-owned fleet using human teleoperators as a safety backup, where the ride-hailing service will initially target California and Texas and reduce an in-house built ride-hailing app. Details of these stories and more will come to you on Global Business. And let's move away from that really quickly and move to The flows of our futures exchanges, and like they say, chart begins at home, so we start on the flows of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning, where the NGX All-Share Index as a yesterday closed on high, rising by 0.10% to close at 98,207.00 points. A total of 939,409,379 shares, valued at 12,813,518,800 naira 57 kobo, were traded across 9,098 deals with equity capitalization of 59,532,909,689 naira for kobo. Now we're going to be taking a look at the biggest gainer and loser of the day. Gold Brew, incidentally, was the biggest gainer of the day, which rose by 9.93%. Other gainers were the likes of Guinea Insurance, Tantalizer, AfriProd again, and ABC Trans. However, on the other hand, John Holt PLC topped the losers list with a decline of 9.96%. Other losers were HM Core, Morrison, Wabco, and UPD Credit. We're going on a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges. I'm talking about the likes of the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the Chinese Stock Exchange, which of course comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning indeed opening bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Open Bell. Now we're moving on to other featured exchanges, and this time we're going to the New York Stock Exchange this morning, where it's mostly rises and index values across board. Well, we have the NYSE Composite DJ, NYSE US 100 Index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, all down. See if they decided to share their positions on the chart this morning. All down at 0.06%, 0.37%, and 0.24% respectively. However, the S&P 500 Index is up at 0.17%, the NYSE 5 TM Index, the Nasdaq Composite, the Nasdaq 100, all up at 1.03%, 0.45%, and 0.38% respectively. Now moving on to the United Kingdom, London more specifically, it's all dips in index values across board. FTSE 100 is down at 0.79%, FTSE 250 is down 0.04%, FTSE 350 down 0.76%, and the FTSE All-Share Index is also down at 0.73%. And now we're moving on to China, the exchange of China, where, well, it's interesting to know that the Shenzhen exchange is all rises in index values across board. The Shenzhen Component Index, the SZSE Composite Index, I beg your pardon, the China Index also up at 0.75%, 0.87%, and 0.69% respectively. Now, the question is, will this continue when we go to the exchange at Shanghai? Well, the truth is, yes, it continues to rise and continues because, of course, it's all rises here. At the Shanghai Exchange, the SSE Composite Index is up at 0.59%, the SSE 50 Index is up at 0.08%, the Star 50 Index is up 0.75%, the SSE 180 Index, SSE 380 Index, CSI 300 Index, all up at 0.70%, 0.64%, and 0.73% respectively. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we will be looking at commodity prices as well as a consumer price watch in the open market. You may want to be part of this program. Join in, drop a comment or two on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe also so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifulaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
You're welcome back, and I am Ubong Kings. Still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and well, it's a upward movement for gold today, and indeed all precious metals on the chart this morning. Gold is up, silver is up, platinum is up, palladium is up also with the values of 1.37%, a whooping 3.67%, 1.98%, and 3.34% respectively. Now let's check out what's happening as far as the world of energy is concerned right here. And we're interested to know it's a mixture of rises and dips, and index rises across board with more of rises than dips. Natural gas, ethanol, and oil body light are down at 2.61%, 1.57%, and 2.84% respectively. However, coal and oil Brent are up at 0.09% and 0.33% respectively. Kwaibo and Brass River also up with the same value of 0.49%. And away from that, let's take a look at industrial metals now. It's a mixture again of rises and dips, but more rises anyway. We have lead and nickel being the only two commodities that are down 0.46% and 0.34%. However, I'm interested to know aluminium is up at 0.61%, iron ore, copper both up at 2.10% and 0.50% respectively. Zinc and tin also up at 1.60% and 0.35% respectively. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning. This indeed is Opening Bell. Do well to follow this program, join in on the conversation and watching live, as it were, on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And you can also follow us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of a social media community. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in fuel prices. And on that note, I will see you tomorrow on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning will be right back with a segment, Global Business. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group, in collaboration with Southeast Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, and Edinburgh Economic City Development (FZE), cordially invite the public to the maiden edition of Southeast Business and Investment Summit (SEBIS). Theme: Remaking Southeast as Economic Powerhouse. Attending will be global business leaders, entrepreneurs, institutions from across the world, key government officials, and leading members of the academia. From December 11th to 13th, 2024, at Amadi Event Center, Enugu, by 9 a.m. each day. Opening ceremony to be chaired by His Majesty Igwe Nemeka Achebe Abogidi, Obi of Onitsha. Summit speech to be delivered by Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General, World Trade Organization. Keynote speakers include Dr. Charles Odi, DG CEO Smedan, His Excellency Isaac Ken Parashina, Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Jakaya Kikwete, former President of Tanzania, Senator Eninaya Baribe, founder, Made in Aba Trade Fair. Over 2,000 investors, 500 women in business, 500 youth entrepreneurs are expected to participate at this historic event. Sponsored by Edinburgh Economic City, Lion Business Park, Sesima, Abuja Chambers, among others. United Nigeria Airlines is official airline of the summit. Be there and take advantage of this rare global opportunity. Signed, Dr. Ifedi Okwena, Executive Secretary, Chief Ben Oranusi, Chairman, LOC for SEBIS.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business. And here we'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. Here are the headlines that we're tracking at the moment. Starting off from with business news stories from Africa. It's reported that Morocco is seeing record 15.9 million tourists in 2024. Tesla is to launch robotaxi with a teleoperator backup. And still from the automobile world, Volkswagen staff resumes strike action amid fears of plant closures. Bringing details of these news stories and more right after this time out. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, and we will begin with business news stories from Africa, where it's reported that Morocco's tourism industry is celebrating a major milestone with 15.9 million visitors recorded by the end of November 2024, making a 20% increase compared to the same period in 2023, which is according to the Tourism Ministry. However, November alone saw a dramatic boost with 1.3 million tourists arriving, representing a 31% increase over the previous year, where this surge reflects Morocco's growing appeal as a global travel destination. Meanwhile, a portion of the growth comes from Moroccan residents living abroad, who contributed to a 17% rise in visits, which added an extra 1.1 million visitors, highlighting the strong connection between Moroccans abroad and their home country. Furthermore, to continue attracting tourists, Morocco had expanded air routes to key markets and is promoting lesser-known destinations across the country, enhancing its appeal to a wider range of travelers. Now, real quickly, even as this story is great as it is already, it still poses a lot of concern, as far as I'm concerned, about the Nigerian tourism industry. Let me shock you a little bit more. Are you aware, according to the story, that they say to attract more tourists, Morocco is expanding air routes to key markets and is promoting lesser-known destinations. Hold up, lesser-known destinations, meaning there are other destinations that are well-known, but now they're promoting lesser-known destinations across the country. And why are they doing this? Enhancing the appeal to a wider range of travelers. In other words, they are deliberately working on this to make it happen. Question is, how has Nigeria fared with reference to the tourism industry? Now, the story also in the first paragraph records something very intriguing, that the Morocco tourism industry, listen to this, is celebrating a major milestone with 15.9 million visitors recorded by the end of November 2024. The question is, do we even have the capacity to even start doing? We don't have it. Let's be real. First off, Nigeria, we don't have the adequate data or the capacity to get data or the mechanism necessary to get data, to know who visited where and when, quantity of people, how much was spent, etc. It's not there, because quite frankly, there's a lot more that is desired in the place of tourism in Nigeria. But then, I'm not going to roast Nigeria on this one. Some other African countries are not doing so well too. But then I say no more. I rest my case. Moving on to other business news stories, and this time from the world of tech, it's reported that China has recently launched an investigation into NVIDIA over suspected violations of the country's anti-monopoly law in a move widely seen as a retaliatory shot against Washington's latest cuts on the Chinese chip sector. Meanwhile, in a sign that China intends to fight back strongly against the last move, shortly after Washington's announcement, Beijing banned exports to the United States of critical minerals, gallium, germanium, and antimony. Unfortunately, too, NVIDIA has been one of the many companies caught up in the US-China frictions, where an earlier round of export curbs by the US stopped NVIDIA from selling its most advanced AI chips to China, prompting it to come up with new China-specific versions that were compliant with US export controls. Now, for the sake of context, let me just make this clear. I actually saw this drama playing out, yeah? US pushing China to the wall. Now, clearly, China is reacting. Now, how are they doing that? Let me just say this. Now, they are pretty much investigating, or they've opened an investigation into NVIDIA over suspected violations of the country's, China's anti-monopoly law. But then, the truth of the matter is, this move is widely seen as retaliatory. That's the truth, because this is against Washington's latest curbs on Chinese chip sector. Hold on. Also recall that, in case you're wondering, NVIDIA is a US company which is headquartered in Santa Clara, California. And by the way, China, just so you know, has also banned the exports to the United States of critical minerals. I'm talking about the likes of gallium, germanium, antimony, and these particular minerals are used for electronics, take note, semiconductors, infrared, solar cells, and weapons systems. And all these things are predominantly gotten from China. See where we're going with this? Anyway, fingers crossed. We'll see how this battle plays out eventually. We'll take a short break. When we return, more stories, and this time around from the automobile world. Please stay. Yeah, welcome back. Here still on the segment Global Business of the Afia Business Morning. And well, because of course we have to join up with our colleagues right there at Madio Event Center for the ongoing Southeast Business and Investment Summit. We would have to truncate this bulletin for the time being, just so we could join there, and yours truly will be there live to bring you updates on what's happening there at the Madio Event Center. And in an attempt to end this bulletin and steal, and really from the automotive world, is reported thousands of employees from the German car maker Volkswagen have down tools for 4 hours in 9 German plants as the car maker and its unions opened a new round of negotiations aimed at finding a resolution to the standoff. Further industrial action has been taking place at Volkswagen in Germany as bosses and unions began a new round of negotiations over pay cuts and plant closures, where the renewed negotiations were aimed at ending a standoff between the German car maker and its employees after the car giant rejected the latest proposal put forward by the unions. The unions say their proposal would save the car maker 1.5 billion euros and included lowering dividend payouts and cutting some bonuses. Unfortunately, Volkswagen, struggling with poor demand in Europe and competition in China, is planning to make 10 billion euros of savings as they are considering the unprecedented closure of plants in Germany, slashing thousands of jobs and cutting pay by 10% as the company argues that it must lower costs in Germany in order to preserve its competitiveness. Now, quickly, let me try to break this down. I thought that, well, the unions were in favor of the workers, but according to the story, the report says that unions say the proposal would save the car maker. Save the car maker, what happens to the people? 1.5 billion euros are included, lowering dividend payouts and cutting some bonuses. But then again, Boeing Originals tells us more on how Volkswagen, according to them, lost its way. Let's take a look at this real quickly.
You could arguably chart the current crisis to the diesel scandal in 2015. It cost the company billions of euros in fines and recall and costs. And it forced a rapid pivot towards electric vehicles, what the company wasn't really well prepared for.
Part of that included creating their own battery-making facilities and creating their own in-house software unit. The problem is creating software is very different than making cars.
Tesla is so far ahead because it's good at all of these things: the batteries, the vehicles, and the software. VW is not.
In the combustion engine era, they could still make cars that people wanted. The transition to electric vehicles is they're not doing well with making cars that people want to buy.
Or that they can afford. This is reflected by slumping registrations for new EVs in Germany. For the majority of the months last year, sales have been down compared to the year before. In the 21st century, VW lacks an electric people's car to stimulate German EV adoption. Which brings us to the second big problem: China. VW has been active in the world's second biggest economy for decades. But while China's been dealing with its own economic slowdown, its car makers have been churning out competitive electric vehicles at VW's expense in particular. Just look at the changing makeup of China's EV market. Local manufacturers have taken considerable share, while German brands, including VW's, have steadily declined.
It wouldn't be controversial to say that Volkswagen, through its decades of success in China, grew a bit arrogant about its position there.
VW has company in its struggle with macroeconomic headwinds. The European Commission is fighting back on behalf of EU car makers and in late 2024 introduced controversial tariffs on Chinese vehicles. And so, to VW's third problem, its workforce.
Volkswagen management has said that as many as 3 of those factories could be at risk of closing or of restructuring.
Oh, well, we'll follow up with the story and as well as other stories as they unfold. And you will want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel to watch it live. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia While you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram with the handle @AfiaBusiness_ to be part of our social media community. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live right here on Afia TV. Coming up next, well, we'll be taking a step. I'll stepping away from here to Madio Event Center to give you updates and as to what's happening there with reference to the ongoing Southeast Business and Investment Summit. Thank you for your time. My name is Ubong Kings. Good morning.
Good afternoon. How market? You don't collect big money like this. Yes, so this is How Market. Welcome to another episode of How Market, where we get to give you stories about businesses within the southeastern part of Nigeria and of course the South region. You know the most important thing, we need to understand what makes these people venture into the market. And the interesting part, in 30 seconds, sell their brand without using some key words. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go there.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ifoma Beto Violet Obi. I sell electricals and fittings. And why I joined this business is my husband's business. He's an engineer. He works and he gets materials from people. So I said, okay, why not let me start this business so he can patronize me while others patronize me too. This has been like 2 years, no, 3 years, yes, 2021 to 2024, like 4, right? It's been okay, although we faced challenge from relocating from the old Kenyatta where they demolished my shop to this new place now. And as you can see, I'm booming and trying my best. God has been faithful.
My name is Engineer Stanley. My business name is With God Electrical. Because with God, all things are possible. We started this business in the low Canada, but by the grace of God, at least we are moving on. We were in Kenyatta market before. They demolished our shop about 3 years ago. We had to locate here. This is international market in the Enugu state now. In fact, the biggest market in the Enugu state. So we are here now, and by the special grace of God.
My name is Edi Okafo. After my secondary school, so I want to go to university, but unfortunately, my parents don't have such money. So from there, I learned this business from my brother, one Chokode Wechi. So I learned it just for 1 year, and I started with just 2,000 naira.